And today we're continuing our Road to Reparations series with the special conversation between the descendants of Dred Scott and the descendants of the family who enslaved this historic figure.
NBC5's Christian Farr sits down with these families who have built a loving relationship that was born out of something that was very traumatic.
In the halls of DuSable Museum's Freedom, Origin, and Journey exhibit, the troubling images of slavery are on full display.
Dred Scott apparently was cared for by this family in a way that you don't normally see slaves being cared for.
And it is where these two women are talking about their relationship that was born out of this troubling piece of American history.
I'm descended from enslavers through 3 of my 4 grandparents.
Louise LaBourgeois' 5 times great-grandfather, Peter Blow, was an enslaver of Dred Scott, an enslaved man who legally fought for his freedom in the mid-1800s and lost in what is widely considered the worst decision made by the highest court in the nation. Lynn Jackson is Scott's direct descendant and the founder of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation.
It's really fascinating, the story by itself. It's a long, deep, but rich story of pursuit of freedom.
Dred Scott had been enslaved by the Blow family, Louise's ancestors, in the state of Missouri. That's until Scott was sold to Dr. John Emerson in 1830.
He was an army surgeon, and at a certain point, really not far after he purchased Dred Scott, he was assigned to Fort Armstrong.
Fort Armstrong was located in Rock Island, Illinois, just a few hours west of Chicago. Illinois was a free state back then, and Scott was also taken to Fort Snelling in Minnesota, which was also a free territory. That would start an 11-year legal battle that went all the way to the Supreme Court.
We just know that this was important enough that he was able to add this to his suit for freedom by claiming that he lived in free territory in Illinois, and that's critically important.
Lynn says Scott's fight for freedom, which started in 1846, ended in 1857, with United States Supreme Court Chief Justice Roger Taney ruling that enslaved blacks were not and could not be citizens.
My father says, "Did you know your ancestor owned Dred Scott?" And just the feeling of like I wanted the earth to open up and swallow me whole because it felt terrible.
The compassion of Louise's family continues today with their support of Lynn's nearly 2 decades-old foundation. They join Lynn on speaking engagements and dedications to spread the important message of reconciliation.
Being able to do something positive to make whatever repair I can to that trauma while I'm alive.
At the DuSable Museum, Christian Farr, NBC5 News.